Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rahul Gandhi has lobbed a poisonous barb at the Prime Minister in the aftermath of the surgical strike. Speaking in Delhi at the culmination of his grand UP tour, the Congress Vice President accused the Prime Minister of harvesting the sacrifice of martyred soldiers to further the political ends of the government. That's right. The enemy today stands at our borders. It is looking to enter our borders. But Rahul Gandhi targets our Prime Minister who stands within our borders to defend this nation. Only that, the words that Rahul Gandhi used were much coarser. Let me quote him exactly in Hindi. Rahul said, आपने दो चीजें जरूर की हैं. एक हिंदुस्तानी को दूसरे से लड़ाने का काम किया, बांटने का काम किया है. ये देश मोदी जी से इंसाफ चाहता है और ये उनकी जिम्मेदारी है. कहां हैं 15 लाख? कहां हैं उनके सारे वादे? All his promises were fake. हमारे जवान हैं जिन्होंने खून दिया है, जिन्होंने सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हैं. उनकी आप dalali कर रहे हो, unquote, is what Rahul Gandhi has said expressly. The BJP has hit back saying that a party that has excelled in dalali or brokering deals in the defense sector and ended up undermining the national interest by doing so need not advise the Prime Minister on how to look after the interests of our national heroes. Other parties have questioned the choice of phrases used by Rahul Gandhi and his decision to drag the armed forces into a political slugfest at a time when they are combating a capricious enemy that has launched a war by other means on the nation. The criticism isn't entirely unjustified, as in Pakistan, the media there has already begun to relay Rahul's remarks on TV, where politicians are gloating over Rahul's attack on the Prime Minister, citing them as proof that the Prime Minister staged the surgical strike to reap electoral gains ahead of the upcoming elections in Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. That's what they're saying in Pakistan, where Rahul Gandhi has become a poster boy. Has he crossed the line? Has he done a disservice to our soldiers, to our Jawans, by dragging them into a political Chakravyu, political battlefield? Imagine the impact of his words on their minds. Will it end up, some ask, denting the morale of our forces who are lining up today to face an enemy that is using everything, every capricious practice at its behest to bleed India? Some questions arise tonight. We will be asking them. Here's the news report.
जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो. उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो. उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो.
As Rahul Gandhi crossed the line, just 2 weeks after coming out with sarcastic praise of the Prime Minister, the Congress Vice President launched perhaps his most visceral attack yet.
धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने 2.5 साल में पहला एक्शन लिया है जो प्रधानमंत्री के लायक एक्शन.
जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो. उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो.
आर्मी के लोग जो जवान हमारे शहीद हो, उनके बलिदान पर राजनीति जो हो रही है उसका उन्होंने
देश सैल्यूट कर रहा है अपने आर्म फोर्सेस को, अपने प्राइम मिनिस्टर को. वहीं फ्रस्ट्रेशन में राहुल गांधी इस तरह की बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं क्योंकि दलाली से राहुल का बहुत लंबा अटैचमेंट है.
Rahul Gandhi's acerbic words to many commentators has evoked memories of Sonia's infamous मौत का सौदागर remark.
अपराधी तत्व अपने को सुरक्षित महसूस करते हैं जिन्हें सरकारी संरक्षण मिल रही है. सच्चाई है कि आज गुजरात की सरकार चलाने वाले झूठे बेईमानी डर और मौत के सौदागर हैं. जो जहर की खेती करते हैं, जो समाज को बांटने की राजनीति करते हैं, जो सेक्युलर मूल्यों पर विश्वास नहीं करते हैं और जो हिंसा भड़काने की राजनीति करते हैं।
जो हमारे जवान हैं, जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो।
He maligned the Prime Minister and he's exploited the brave. With his khoon ki dalali jive, has Rahul Gandhi finally crossed the line? Bureau Report, NewsX.
Okay, let's throw open this debate to our guest. Joining us, Major Retired Gaurav Arya, defense expert, Brigadier Mahalingam, defense expert, also with us representing the point of view of the forces. Pawan Verma, senior leader of the JDU, Jay Panda, MP of the BJD, DP Tripathi, MP of the NCP, all of them with us. So is Jaiveer Shergill of the Congress and Syed Zafar Islam of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me first ask Jaiveer Shergill the first question of the evening. Jaiveer Shergill, has Rahul Gandhi gone too far in the choice of words that he has used, in the timing, and also, of course, in the characterization that he has drawn?
Rahul, in fairness, your channel should have also played his comment where it said, हमारे सैनिकों ने हिंदुस्तान के लिए काम किया है और हिंदुस्तान का काम किया है, मोदी जी अब अपना काम कीजिए. So that was also part of his quote, which was missed out. Just for the record, I'm putting it out.
Sure.
Second, I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said nothing wrong. BJP and Prime Minister Modi has a track record of politicizing the sacrifice of our martyrs for self-promotion and self-gain, and I have evidence which I'll show you. Today, Mr. Gandhi is pained that the PM Modi and his entire team is taking away the credit from the sacrifice our soldiers have made for their votes. Now look at this, what is happening. Now, entire country, there are big banners and boards being put to felicitate BJP leaders, especially the defense minister, Mr. Prime Minister Modi, and nobody from their team has even visited the martyr family. A Shaheed named Bablu Singh in Nagaon has said, his family has said, we are running pillar to post to get even a basic compensation. The victims, the families of Uri attack have returned the compensation. Now BJP did old habits die hard, and I have the proof, I'll share it with you in a minute. BJP again reduced the surgical strike into a political marketing tool for self-promotion. Here is a proof that what they did in the past. I hope you can see in the channel, there is blood. It says brutal strikes at terror, weak government, vote for BJP. Now the blood of the soldiers was reduced to a election pamphlet for seeking votes in Delhi. Is this not trading of the blood of the soldiers? What wrong Mr. Gandhi has said? Mr. Parikar insulted the army by saying they realize their prowess. I made them realize their prowess. They are like Hanuman who went to Lanka and realized. Mr. Parikar, it's been 67 years the army is protecting this nation. They didn't know their prowess in 65, 71, Kargil. Now, which magic wand have you done? Mr. Modi, on 27 February, it's been 67 years the army is protecting this nation. They didn't know their prowess in 65, 71, Kargil. Now, which magic wand have you done? Mr. Modi, on 27 February 2014 said, our traders take more risk than the army in this country. Is this the way to salute the Indian army? What wrong has Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said today on this platform? Absolutely nothing.
So
now,
you
if
say,
you want to politicize, take the credit from the Jawans for and celebrate your own leadership.
Okay, since we are looking to the past,
take everything away from them. Yes, then you are doing khoon ki dalali. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, since we are looking to the past,
on the present.
Okay, one second.
In present, 2611. Last example. Example. Rahul, just give me 5 seconds. You just 5 seconds, and I'll rest my case. Just 5 seconds. And Rahul, you rightly said Pakistan is showing Mr. Rahul Gandhi's comments and XYZ. 2611 Gateway of India. Mr. Modi did a press conference mocking the Prime Minister of this nation. And there he puts a tweet. I read it out yesterday also on your channel again if you can read it. We are facing many a crisis. Is this happening due to the weakness of our army, Narendra Modi? So the point I'm trying to make is PM Modi has no affection or affiliation or concern for our brave soldiers.
Okay.
He mainly uses them for as a political handle for
Can I now
for
step
the
in, sir?
consumption of his own vote.
I think you've laid the foundation for your arguments. Since you have dipped into the past, let me also dip into the past. Would you deny that in 1971 the Indira Congress did just that? Took a lot of credit, sir. Took a lot of credit for what happened in the Bangladesh war. The then president of the party even declared Indira Gandhi India. He said, Indira is India, India is Indira. In 2611, sir, your critics are saying that many leaders in your political party came out and seemed to suggest that 2611 was a homespun conspiracy, sir. Many others came out and used honorifics when describing Osama bin Laden, Hafiz Saeed, and another group of Batla House terrorists, saying that Sonia Gandhi cried when she knew or got to know about the Batla House encounter. So they say that you have had a track record where you in fact use certain events for political benefit to appeal to certain communities, etc. Now let me just throw this open. Let me bring in the Bharatiya Janata Party, Pawan Verma and the others. Would the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, Mr. Syed Zafar Islam, like to respond to the charges that are being made?
Rahul, first of all, let me tell you that they understand the language of what Rahul Gandhi has said just now. But this surgical strike, I'm referring to surgical strike, that this surgical strike was conducted by the army, not for any interest or any political, serving any political interest, but for the interest of the nation. It was in national interest they had conducted this surgical strike against this terrorist. Now who is politicizing? We didn't made the announcement. It was the DGMO who made the announcement. Had the defense minister made the announcement, had the prime minister made the announcement, had the senior leadership made the announcement, then you would have accused us. We didn't make the announcement. It was the DGMO who made the announcement, let the people know, and the people of India as well as the global community know that they have conducted this surgical strike. Now they have realized, the Congress party and some of the other parties have realized that the whole of nation is rallying behind the Honorable Prime Minister, because one thing which was lacking completely in the past was the political will, and that has been demonstrated and exhibited by the Honorable Prime Minister, that he has given go ahead to the army to conduct their surgical strike. And the other political party didn't realize that the whole of nation started rallying behind the Prime Minister and behind the army. We are giving full credit to the army for conducting this surgical strike. But Congress party and some other political parties have completely felt rattled, and they started resonating the same language what the enemy country is speaking and the Prime Minister of Pakistan is speaking.
Okay.
Today, the language Rahul Gandhi is, I don't want to use that language, but they understand this language, because there is something which they have done in the last 10 years and they want to speak the same language, but we don't want to get into that.
Okay.
But we want to make them understand that.
So you're saying that this is born out of a deep insecurity that India is going to discover the leadership qualities, the strong political will of a Prime Minister led by the NDA or leads the NDA, unlike what we have seen in the past as compared to the UPA. That's what you're trying to say. Okay, let me bring in Pawan Verma on this.
That's true.
And let me ask him this question. By making the remark, has Rahul conceded, Mr. Verma, that he is envious of the leadership demonstrated by the Prime Minister, and he feels that in comparison, perhaps the people of this country will repose their faith in the NDA, the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the Prime Minister has shown that he is capable of filling in the so-called leadership vacuum that had opened under the UPA years and drove voters into the arms of the NDA. Is that what's really happening?
Rahul, let me make one or two things clear as I see them. First of all, the choice of words is something Mr. Rahul Gandhi has made, and the Congress party and Mr. Rahul Gandhi can defend them. But behind the sentiment of the words he chose to speak, I want to make 2 or 3 points categorically on your channel. We were among the first parties, Mr. Nitish Kumar himself, to congratulate the central government and the armed forces for the decisive action they took against terrorism. Let me also say that while the statement was made by the DGMO, the army in any political democracy works under the political leadership, and therefore to that extent the credit goes also to the central government. Now, given this situation, I think most political parties in the country had united behind the central government and the Prime Minister, who used the armed forces with the requisite political will to strike at Pakistan when it was necessary. Having come thus far, what are we seeing within a week? Within a week, we are seeing posters all over UP showing Prime Minister Narendra Modi as Lord Ram and Nawaz Sharif as Ravan. You have the defense minister making a statement of
but it's happened in the past, sir.
Mythology and
Indira was cast as India in posters. It's happened in the past.
Okay,
I'm
now
not trying to justify it. I'm not justifying it.
Let me answer that.
But Pavan Verma, I began by asking you.
Rahul, let me answer that one question.
I'm asking you a simple question.
Let me answer that one question.
Look at the choice of terminology and words.
Rahul, I want to respond to Mr. Pavan Verma.
1 second, let him finish.
Answer that one question.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Let me first finish. First of all, if it happened in the past, let me say to you, and I knew Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee personally, while he stood united with Indira Gandhi at the time of 1971 as befits a statesman, when the Congress party in any manner sought to use that action which represented national resolve for short-term political gain in elections, there was an opposition that opposed it. And the same opposition must do so now.
But did Mr. Vajpayee use
political parties that belong to it stand behind
these visceral
the central government?
But did he use these visceral terms?
I already made the point.
And there has been history here. Maut ka saudagar, khoon ki kheti, and now comes this one.
Mr. Rahul Shivshankar, please don't let me refer to some of the language used during the 2014 election.
Okay.
I can quote to you in Bihar what kind of language was used. So don't go there. Remember one thing. You have an armed forces. We respect them and we salute them. The armed forces work under a political leadership. We stood behind that political leadership. But the BJP as a political party is devaluing our armed forces and politicizing what was a national resolve.
But you can't deny, sir,
political game with the UP elections in mind, with posters all over the state showing Narendra Modi as Lord Ram.
But you can't
what
deny.
What does it mean?
But you can't deny that the Prime Minister just a few days ago came out and called upon not just ministers in government, but also his party colleagues to eschew jingoism, to not try and capitalize on this surgical strike for political
Full kudos
gains.
to the Prime Minister.
No, 1 second.
Full kudos to the Prime Minister, but this good...
There's a way of strike for political gains.
Full kudos to the Prime Minister.
No, 1 second.
Full kudos to the Prime Minister, but this good...
There's a way of saying
bad
things.
cop policy must end.
Sir, there is a way of saying things.
Why can't he control the defense minister?
You could easily say, you could easily have said, and let me try to paraphrase. You could easily have said, look, we absolutely abhor the Bharatiya Janata Party style of trying to derive political mileage from this surgical strike. But when you suggest, sir, that the Prime Minister is actually trying to harvest the martyrdom of our soldiers, you are sending out the message to the soldiers who are defending us on the borders that they're political pawns. That they're political pawns. Now, there is a way of saying it. There is an enemy that is knocking at our gates, sir. There is an enemy that is coming through.
The choice of words, no.
Yes,
the choice of words Mr. Rahul Gandhi can defend. But the political
But you don't
party,
condemn
the
them.
BJP is doing
But do you condemn them? Pawan Verma, do you
presents
condemn the
and
choice of
supported.
words? Because it's all in the words, you see. So tell me, do you at least condemn the choice of words? Do you say that, no, this was not to have been used?
No, it's not.
Tell me.
So, let me just give you a short answer on that. The reasons why Mr. Rahul Gandhi used those words, Mr. Jaiveer, Shergill is sitting on your channel, he represents the Congress party. But the sentiment behind what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said and his choice of words could have been different.
Okay,
It's
sentiments and the
absolutely
choice of
relevant
words could have been
because we
different.
supplies.
Brigadier Malinga,
All political rallies.
what does this say to a veteran soldier?
I am sorry, let me bring out a few, just give me a time. Let me just bring out one thing. These are, unfortunately, they are uneducated people who use cheap words like a street fighter. That exactly is what I can make out of it. The point is that the people who masquerade themselves as leaders, they have no clue of what army is or what national security is. These people, unfortunately, do not understand that the military is apolitical and it has got to remain apolitical. And these lot of people, these politicians, I am sorry, they are dragging in army into the politics and sort of making them absolutely a sort of a force which tomorrow is not going to fight. Let me also bring out one thing. There are people who demanded that there is requirement of evidences, there are requirement of witnesses. I spoke to a serving officer and a serving JSU, and I asked him, as a professional, if you have to defend a place, you have to defend it from outside the place and not inside. I asked him, why have you allowed these people to come inside? Why did they come near your the cabs? The answer he gave, every single politician must know. He says, tomorrow, even if I know that a militant is coming to attack my place, if I kill him, tomorrow there will be a demand for inquiry, I will be attached to a formation, and I will be harassed for years together. See the morale. Tomorrow, if in this army, let me tell you, they have been so conditioned, even if they know that a particular attack is coming, they are not going to neutralize them till such time they open fire, kill a couple of people.
Okay,
that is where the politicians have brought the army to.
Okay.
It's a very sad day.
Let me look at this trajectory. Mr. DP Tripathi, I want to come out to you. Mr. Shergill, I'll just come out to you. Let's get all the views in, then you can rebut. No problems about that. DP Tripathi, I just want to draw you in on this, sir. Look at the trajectory. First, the Congress came out and said, okay, well done, but submit the proof that you carried out this strike. Then they say, we did it too. We did it 4 times or 3 times. They released the dates. Then they come out with Rahul Gandhi making a grudging statement saying that, well, the Prime Minister has done well, but this is the first time in 2.5 years he has actually behaved like a Prime Minister or in a Prime Minister-like fashion. Many people saw it as a backhanded compliment. Now comes Rahul Gandhi escalating this to a completely different level. First of all, sir, I want to ask you, should he have used such graphic terminology? Does this terminology and the preceding jibes, attacks, demands suggest that the Congress from day one...
You also remind them of Sanjay Narupan's
One second, sir. Now don't jump into this, please. I said I'll come out to you. DP Tripathi has been very patient. No, please. DP Tripathi, there is a trajectory to all of this, and I want you to answer the question. Should he have used graphic terminology? Do you think there was some consternation within the Congress because they saw that Prime Minister Modi had demonstrated political will? And thirdly, sir, most importantly, should Rahul Gandhi have dragged our forces into a political fight?
I see, as far as Rahul Gandhi's statement is concerned, substantially I'm saying, he is right. But use of these words, I don't think is correct. Because Rahul Gandhi is not merely a member of parliament, not merely a leader of a party. He is vice president of the Congress party, which is the principal opposition party in the country, which has ruled this country for so many years, all of you know. Therefore, I would not agree about the use of these phrases, at least from Rahul Gandhi. Others can do here and there. Secondly, the argument which is being given by BJP and other political parties that opposition is politicizing, opposition is attacking the army, it is incorrect. Basically, all the political parties in the opposition, all the parties in the country have saluted the valor and heroism of the Indian army and the government, achievement of the government of the day and the Prime Minister also. You see, there is another point. In this situation, we should desist from polemical statements. We should try to look at two statements of Mr. Sharad Pawar and P. Chidambaram. These are very responsible statements. Sharad Pawar says that we also did these surgical strikes, but we did not make it public. Chidambaram also says that in our time also surgical strikes took place, but we decided not to take a political mileage out of it. These criticisms in a democracy are valid, and it should not be taken as anti-national activity. Somebody was talking about Sanjay Nirupam. If you have people like Sanjay Nirupam as friends, you don't need enemies. Whatever he has said is objectively anti-national and nothing else.
Okay.
Any responsible citizen of India, forget about political party, any responsible citizen of India would not agree with this kind of a statement. And last point that I wish to make, talking about evidence. What evidence you are talking about? That you prove that you have conducted surgical strike. This action, surgical strike, Rahul, was conducted not merely with valor, with strategic planning and precision, but with great maturity. Look at our armed forces and also the decisions of the government. Our forces did not engage with the Pakistani army. They just wanted to conduct this counter-terrorist action, demolishing the launching pads of the terrorists. So basically, if you look at it, it was not a blood-rushing retaliatory action. It was a preemptive action, and it was conducted with great planning and maturity. For this, armed forces and political leadership must be admired. However, to use it politically in partisan and electoral terms is condemnable.
Absolutely. I think you've been very balanced, just like Pawan Verma, two very senior politicians, one member of parliament, another former member of parliament, someone who has served also as a diplomat. Both these individuals have put it in perspective, and I hope the Congress party is getting the drift of what they're saying. They're not being selective here. And I must tell the Congress party tonight that these words must be internalized. Let me also bring in Jay Panda, another senior politician, member of parliament. Sir, your reaction to the remarks that have been made by Rahul Gandhi, khoon ki dalali, is what he's accused the Prime Minister of. Your reaction to this, sir, your comment?
Well, I don't know why he would say that. I think it's unfortunate. Again, let me repeat, I don't think this is a subject on which we should politicize it. Yes, I agree that it is the army which has done it. I don't think anybody has any doubts about that. And all of India stands behind its army's decision to strike. I think this was announced after the Uri attack, that our army would respond at a time of its own convenience, time and place of our choosing, and that is what has happened. Respond at a time of its own convenience, time and place of our choosing, and that is what has happened. Now, I don't think we should do politics out of this. Neither the government nor opposition parties should try to politicize or take advantage out of this situation.
But do you believe, Mr. Jay Panda, that politicians are trying to take mileage? I mean, you could look at it both ways. You could say that the government, via the Bharatiya Janata Party, by putting up these posters, is trying to draw mileage. You could look at it from the other side. You could say the opposition, Rahul Gandhi and others, are also focusing on the surgical strike by trying to sort of suggest that they've done it in the past and also draw mileage.
Well, let me clarify so that there is no doubt about this. I don't think any party, whether it is government or opposition, should try to politicize the issue, either to take credit for it or to unnecessarily create controversy about it. We know that in the Pakistan side, a lot of controversy was created by denying that any such thing happened, any surgical strike happened. And I think that's a good thing, because we should allow them that face saver so that things don't escalate. So I think any attempt to politicize it by any party is not a good thing. We should not do that.
Okay. So by first asking for proof, then criticizing the government, there has been a charge that the opposition is playing into Pakistani hands. Today, certain people are saying that Rahul Gandhi's comment, "Khoon ki dalali," also amounts to playing into Pakistani hands. Would you agree?
Well, when the surgical strikes were first announced, all the political parties did in fact stand together and show that unity. So if that unity is fraying today, I would call it unfortunate. You've seen the reaction of Pakistan, you've seen the reaction of the rest of the world, and today enough credible evidence is coming out from very credible media sources and others and experts that in fact strike did take place and many terrorists were taken out. You can argue about how many terrorists were killed, but the fact is that it did happen, and it has this kind of out-of-the-box thinking, not just a strike, but taking a public posture was very much necessary because Pakistan had a strategy for the last 25 years and it was getting away with the strategy without any response from India. This was necessary. So I would just say that I wish we maintain that unity which was demonstrated by all political parties in the immediate aftermath.
Maintain unity. DP Tripathi says maintain unity. Jay Panda says the same. Yes, sir.
I just want to say a very small little thing.
Yes.
That as far as I am concerned, what now they are doing is weakening the government, the army and the government, and it is playing into the hands of the Pakistan.
Would you agree?
If it is not what it is,
Major Arya,
the point is,
why?
when you sort of target the Prime Minister of the country, what are you doing? Are you sort of falling into as a prey into the hands of the Pakistanis? Are you not weakening the government? Are you not weakening the strength of the military? That precisely is what is happening. I'm sorry.
Okay, very quickly, one second, Major Arya, and then the last word with the Congress and the BJP on this. Yes.
Okay, yeah. See, whether it's Rahul Gandhi who has said something about khoon ki dalali or Mr. Manohar Parrikar who's saying something, I think both are equally condemnable, and I'll tell you why. Because, don't get us involved. When I say us, I mean the Indian Army. Don't get us involved in your politics. We are an apolitical organization.
So how would you have liked Rahul Gandhi to have made the comment? If he wanted to convey the sentiment that let's not politicize this strike, how should he have put it? Let's hear it from an army man.
No, what I'm saying is that, you want to say that if Mr. Modi has taken advantage of a certain military strike, or he's taking, I think all political parties do it. It is not just the BJP, the Congress.
But how should he have approached this? How should he? Everyone here, especially the senior politicians,
there are any number of
Rahul, I just want to clarify a couple of things. Yeah, I'll tell you. See, first of all, what I want to say is that yes, he could have said it a little differently. I do not know how. I'm not a politician. I don't know how to say it. I'll just say it bluntly, like a soldier says it. No politics in our name, because we are an apolitical organization. And by saying this, all politicians, BJP, Congress, whichever political party, you're damaging the army, because till 5 days back, most of the Indians did not know what a DGMO was. Today, everybody is saying the DGMO said this, the army chief said this. So this is very, very unfortunate. And now, another thing, most of the politicians today say that, they attack each other and say, but we salute the army. Now, whenever a politician nowadays says we salute the army, I get very scared. I don't know what is the intent behind that salute.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people, just two small points, Rahul. A lot of people have said that we require proof. Now, proof of such a cross-border operation is not given anywhere in the world. They did not give it for the Osama raid, and nobody gives this kind of information to anybody. You have to take it. Forget about the politicians, okay? But if the DGMO of the Indian Army is standing up and saying that the raid took place, I don't think there should be any discussion about the raid. And finally, about the Congress saying that these 3 or 4 surgical strikes took place. I don't think any surgical strike has taken place before. What happened was Pakistan used to send border action teams, 3, 4, 5 people, along with their special forces people to attack and kill our soldiers. We would send a patrol level team there. it is for the first time, at least in my knowledge, that such a coordinated attack has taken place. All right? So Manohar Parrikar saying that I made the army realize its prowess is totally wrong. The army knew.
Can I come in for a minute?
Yeah, the army knew. So you're saying the army. So even Manohar Parrikar is out of line when he says that I made the army realize its potential and prowess.
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody made us realize anything. The Indian army was responsible for creating Bangladesh.
Two quick comments. One from Pawan Verma, one from Mr. Tripathi before I bring in the Congress and the BJP. Yes.
I want to. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Come on, Pawan Verma, go ahead. First you.
Just a quick point, quick point, Rahul. Quick point. I agree with Major Gaurav Arya that let's not use politics to politicize the army, which has been exemplary in its apoliticalness.
Yeah.
But I'm a little not only surprised but appalled by Brigadier Mahalingam's statement. Is he saying that in a democracy, if while standing behind the central government and the Prime Minister in the action it took just now, but if on other issues we ask him questions or criticize the current government, we are not asking for evidence, but there are issues on which we have questions to ask the Prime Minister. We are being anti-national. I'm sorry, please don't define democracy on these grounds. You can carry this kind of definition for yourself.
Witnesses and evidence are being asked.
There will be questions
do you think that the Indian army, when you fight, when you're risking your life and crossing the line of control, are you expecting me to collect witnesses? I gave you a very clear example of how this affects the morale of the
those who ask, but don't try to devalue our democracy.
No, no one is devaluing the democracy. Please understand, when you say such a thing, when you demand that evidences be given, witnesses be produced, please see what it exactly means. Well, how does it impact the truth? How does it impact the national security? Please understand
our parliament does not need such lectures, sir.
Okay, gentlemen, just hold fire. 1 second. DP Tripathi wants to come in quickly. After that, the Congress. Yes, go ahead, DP Tripathi. Yes.
I will be very brief. Number one, surgical strikes are not cricket match to be televised. That should be clear. Second, I would like all political parties, whether in the government or in the opposition now, to end this controversy.
Okay.
Enough has been said, and now we should really, in unison, salute the army and their valor and end this controversy.
Absolutely. Okay. Mr. Shergill, 4 points. Resist polemics, and Rahul Gandhi should have resisted it. Don't use such language. He perhaps should not have. Another suggestion has been made that there was a pattern. In fact, before him, Mr. Nirupam was completely out of line. He behaved in an anti-national way. And to demand evidence is to undermine really the credibility of the forces at a larger level. 4 points, you need to respond to that, sir.
Rahul, your 4 points, my 4 answers, very specific. First, when you said Mr. Pawan Verma and Mr. Tripathi, yes, they have their own opinion about the choice of words, but what they also said was Mr. Rahul Gandhi, what he says is substantially right. Point 1. Point 2, there is a word about whether we suffer from any political insecurity. The fact that the Congress never even did a press conference on any surgical strike proves that we don't take political mileage on any strike. Number 3, on the morale of the forces, BJP for the past 2 years has only lowered the morale, whether it was Pathankot, whether it was inviting JIT, whether it was thanking Pakistan from the podium of Kashmir, whether it was not giving compensation to Bablu Singh, who's just been martyred at the border. Number 4, with due respect to the major on the show, General Bikram Singh, the army chief, has said such strikes happened in the with due respect to the major on the show, General Bikram Singh, the army chief, has said such strikes happened in the past. If we don't want to trust him, then God bless us.
Well, the DGMO came out.
When you
talk
about
the former DGMO,
I have no
Mr. Bhatia has come out and
said, is DGMO higher or
If the DGMO hire or the army chief is the choice this nation has to make, whether they trust their army chief or a DGMO. And let me tell you on record, which your viewers don't know, on 1/9/2011 was a surgical strike. He was appointed DGMO on 1st September 2012. After 1 year, he was appointed DGMO after the surgical strike. Last I want to say on your show, the Bharatiya Janata Party should stop trading our jawans, should stop parading our jawan as political commodities for self-promotion. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has spoken in the interest of these soldiers who are being reduced to political pawns by these BJP leaders by putting hoardings. I challenge and ask the BJP, have you gone to a single home of any martyr? My leader Rahul Gandhi has gone.
But sir, you would agree. Please don't come to our homes on time.
You may be
putting billboards, and my leader is busy visiting their families.
Hold on, sir. Please, you may belong to. I hold no brief for the Congress or for the BJP or for any party, sir. Please do not come to our homes. We will weep over our dead, and we will fight for the nation, sir. Please, Rahul. I have come to this person's house. He has gone to that. Congress, BJP does not matter, sir. We are soldiers. We fight for the country. We don't fight
that
for.
Be decided by the martyrs whose home we are visiting, sir.
Sir, please don't visit the martyrs.
Decided by the martyrs' family whose home we are visiting.
Please keep us away from all this. And this, you said that who's senior, DGMO and chief, between chief, obviously the chief is senior. All we are trying to say is that technically a surgical strike was conducted. We have had border action from the border. 2-3 people were killed from there. Certainly cross-border operations have happened in the past. I am myself...
He said it, similar surgical strikes have happened in the past. I have it on the record. Rahul can play it for you.
Let me very clearly say, no, it did not happen. It has never happened.
Well, gentlemen, look, we don't want to, wade into a...
So let the army decide, nation decide whether the army chief is right or both of you right.
Gentlemen, look, people can have differing... Look, let's not go into operational details, etc. But I just want to ask one question. Since we are bringing up past surgical strikes, Mr. Jaiveer Shergill, why are we so intent on trivializing the present one? Is that what's really going on? That we did it too, so no big deal if Mr. Modi has done it, or his government has done it, or the army under him has done it, no big deal. Why are we trivializing, or are we actually trivializing this particular strike?
Rahul, absolutely not. I think it's been projected in a different perspective. All we said was Congress does not demand the release of this video of this surgical strike.
Let's go back to the statement. Look, I have several statements. If you ever wanted to take, if you wanted to,
we didn't even do a press conference on it. In case we know the importance of not releasing video for public consumption or to prove the claim of the army.
No, in case the Congress during its time had carried out a surgical strike, what prevented the Congress from coming out and giving out all the details like what the present government has done?
They are saying they didn't want to take or draw political mileage from this.
I not believe
but then, sir, why not call them today?
It's not for you to decide.
I just want to come in here for a minute.
It's not for you to decide, Sir Pawan Verma. It's not for you to decide, Sir Pawan Verma. It's not for you to decide,
Can I just come in here? Rahul,
then if it is not for me to decide, why come and now trivialize what has happened now? What is the point in trivializing the present action that has taken place?
So are you saying
the fact that the present government was bold enough to take a decision must be appreciated.
Why are you not volunteering Pradesh to gain votes?
Okay, gentlemen,
are you saying every surgical strike should be followed by a press conference and billboards should be put all across Uttar Pradesh?
Sorry, please, then don't trivialize the present thing which had happened. That's precisely what I'm saying.
Okay, one second.
You may have had your reasons.
Gentlemen, let's calm down.
All we are saying Congress is
one second, calm down. Gentlemen,
knows that it is a surgical strike.
Gentlemen, please. Please, no, Jaiveer Shergill, please just give me 30 seconds, please. Let's just, 1 second. I just need this, I need order to be restored. 1 second, please. Pawan Verma, I want to ask you a question and then I want to go to the BJP. He's been very patient with us, the BJP spokesperson. Pawan Verma, I just want to ask you a very straightforward question tonight. If previous governments had decided not to reveal to the world that they had conducted surgical strikes, what's making them come out tonight or yesterday or the night before that to reveal to the world that they did so? Is it because there is a certain competitive advantage that they are drawing and they're telling the leadership, they're telling the voters out there that we were equally active leaders because this is election season. Simple question. Simple question, sir. Mr. Pawan Verma.
Okay, simple answer, sir. Sir, I must say with great respect for our armed forces that they work under a political leadership. And if that political leadership believes that a particular operation needs to be publicly owned and made overt, that's for that political leadership to decide. If they have done so in this case, I believe it was required, given the spiral increase in the number of cross-border infiltrations in Pathankot and Uri. However, it is not for defense experts to say whether the duly elected democratic political leadership should have done A or B. In our country, we have an armed forces which we respect, which works under the political executive. And let's not play around with that.
As a rejoinder and sorry, as an answer to Ambassador Pawan Verma, sir, I agree with you. The army works under the political dispensation of the country, and that's how all civilized nations work. My point of view is slightly different, sir, that no political party, be it the BJP or the Congress or any other political party of India, should politicize this issue. If the defense minister has done it, it is condemnable. If Congress has done it, it is condemnable, sir. It is wrong. Any party does it because it lowers the morale of the Jawan. That is my only point, and I have no other point, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Let me go across to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. 3 points, sir. I think Pawan Verma, DP Tripathi made those points. Mr. Jay Panda also made those points. That while the Prime Minister is exercising appreciable restraint, while your government exercised appreciable restraint by not making the proof public, the fact is that the party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has gone to town with these surgical strikes, taking advantage politically. That's the charge. So have you really invited the ire of the opposition or the negative remarks that have been made by the opposition, sir, in the context that was today expressed by Rahul Gandhi? Simple question, sir.
Rahul, the fact is simple, that the whole nation, after the surgical strike, filled with joys, they were happy that the Honorable Prime Minister has done something which had never been done by the other political parties.
Now, I asked you a straightforward question. Should the Bharatiya Janata Party, no, sir, don't dance around the, 1 second, let's not dance around the trees here. Metaphorically speaking, I just want to ask you a simple question. Did you invite the wrath of the opposition by making this a political staging point? Simple question. Yes, no.
Rahul, they are talking about election. They are talking about election is far away. There's a long way to go. Why will we do anything of that sort? It is just the people's emotion they are expressing, and it is not us. We as a BJP
UP is happening right now.
Sure, put any posters either outside our office or elsewhere. No, but the people are happy. But there's a deep sense of insecurity among all political parties, particularly the principal opposition party of this country, because they know they have not been able to deliver something which was expected from them. And today, which has been delivered by this government,
but does that validate putting up posters?
They say we have done it. Still, they are accusing us.
Does that validate putting up posters, sir?
Declaring no, I'm telling you that we are not politicizing again. We are not putting up any posters. We are not putting up any posters, sir. But we are only appreciating the army for conducting this surgical strike so precisely.
The veterans sitting here, disagree with you. They don't even do that. We don't need your appreciation.
Sir,
we're a professional army.
Putting up a BJP logo or a Congress logo of any political party with the army. Sir, please listen to me, sir. Putting up any logo of any political party is not in good taste, sir. I suggest you don't do it. It's not a good idea. It defeats the whole idea of an army being apolitical. yes, sir, I suggest you don't do it. It's not a good idea. It defeats the whole idea of an army being apolitical, which is under a political leadership, and that is the way it should be, sir.
Okay.
If you politicize the army, you're turning India into another Pakistan.
Let the 4Gs have the last word. I'm leaving it at this. I'm leaving it at this. I think we've had a well-rounded, fairly temperate debate tonight. We leave it at that before it really descends into some sort of a squall. So we don't want that. Let's leave it where it is. Thank you for joining me. Let's just quickly look at the other top story.